Hey guys, welcome to Wrestling Days and welcome to today's unseen video. I thought we would get it out a bit earlier than usual today, and we've got quite a bit in the folders news-wise anyway. So let's get straight into it. WWE obviously are about to announce, yet to announce, that we are going to go to Saudi Arabia for WrestleMania 43. We spoke about that yesterday. It is expected. PW Insider coming out saying, yes, it's happening. We're just waiting for the announcement, right? We've even got a bit more information. So I believe this has come from Wrestling Observer Radio. So the idea is to present the most star-studded show ever by far. Everyone, anyone, money is no object. Any name that you can imagine, obviously they're going to be going after them. I presume it's the only WrestleMania of that year, but when I first heard, one of the ideas was to do 2 WrestleManias for year one. So that way it keeps it in America. So the American fans are not upset about Saudi Arabia. The deal was done by August 6th. Because that was the first day I was told there would be a WrestleMania in Saudi Arabia for sure. So it seems like this deal has been sorted about 4 or 5 weeks ago. But this is really interesting because, again, I had also heard about the idea of 2 WrestleManias. Do one in Saudi, do one abroad, but then do one in the US as well. Not sure where you would fit that. I mean, maybe this year we do Wrestlepalooza. Next year it's Wrestlemania. And we still do the Wrestlemania in April as well. So, you know, it could be one of those where we move to 2 WrestleManias a year. But again, this is all just speculation, right? All just speculation. Certainly there is nothing concrete on that. The only thing that I'm confident about is that WrestleMania in 2027 will be in Saudi Arabia. They're paying the money for it, and they have matches that they want, and they're working really, really hard to get. I don't know if they're going to be able to get them, but they're going to spend a lot of money to get what they want. We're talking about anyone coming out of retirement that wants to come out of retirement. Big name value. We'll be able to get a lot of money for this show. I would presume all those people would be contacted, like Shawn Michaels, Undertaker, Rock, Stone Cold, and the ones who will want to do it and will be able to do it, the ones who have any interest in a great payday, they'll be able to get on the show. Now, obviously, it doesn't mean they're going to wrestle. It might just be that they're making an appearance. They're part of an in-ring moment. You know, a little bit like, do you remember when Hogan... I mean, that would be great, actually. Do you remember the start of WrestleMania 30, where Hogan was in the ring, and then the glass broke and out came Stone Cold, and then, of course, we got The Rock come down as well. Imagine if we could have a moment in 2027 where we get, like, we can't have Hogan now, but we could have Flair, Undertaker, Stone Cold, Rock, Shawn, Brett, Triple H, John Cena. Like, imagine if we could just get all those people in the ring at the same time. Just get as many legends into the ring as... I mean, that one from WrestleMania 30 was amazing. And with the passing of Hogan, we'll obviously never be able to kind of improve on that. But maybe we could do something else with the legends that we have around. So if we are reaching out to these people, it might not necessarily be for a match. Apparently, WWE wanted to host the Saudi Arabia WrestleMania in 2028, but Saudi Arabia wanted it in 2027 so they could celebrate the 300-year anniversary of the first founding of the Saudi state. So there we go. Really interesting, detailed kind of report there from Wrestling Observer Radio. So wrestling's biggest fan, thank you. Okay, Edward, thank you. This is coming from WrestleVotes Radio. WWE will not be hosting its annual post-WrestleMania live event at Madison Square Garden this year. WWE will be at Madison Square Garden, but in November, and that's where John Cena makes his final appearance at the Garden. So they're going to be there in November. They're not going back in December. And I think that's quite disappointing because as far as I can remember, they would always kind of go after Christmas to Madison Square Garden. I would imagine that that is a tradition for many people to go to MSG and watch WWE around Christmas time. So the fact we're not going to do that, I think, is a real shame. But, things change. And they're going to be there in November instead. Okay, Edward again, thank you again from WrestleVotes Radio. They've really been on it today. The AJ Styles promo was not a shoot. We didn't think it was a shoot, but it wasn't a shoot. He did exactly what was expected of him during that segment. A source indicates that this is a fresh attempt at trying something different to see if it would catch on organically, and it has. Those within WWE's social media team weren't given any special instructions to avoid anything, so they just proceeded with business as usual. So apparently this is something that had been discussed. It's something that had been planned. He went out there. He said it during the commercial break. It's very clever to do it during commercial break because it makes it seem a little bit more like it's a shoot. He hasn't done it technically on the actual show. He's done it during the commercial break, but it's still obviously got out and it was all over social media. So very interested to see what that is going to lead to. Okay, Edward again, thank you. So here is the preview for tomorrow's Smackdown. First time Brock Lesnar is being advertised in advance. Very interested to see what signs there's going to be, what chants there's going to be. We know that he's going to get booed. He's going to be booed because he's a heel, right? Some of those boos are going to be because of the allegations that are against him and the things that he's got caught up in. But what are the chants? What are the signs? That's going to be interesting. Of course, we've got Randy against Drew as well. So that is a big match. If Cody hadn't made it back in time for Wrestlepalooza, that would be taking place at Wrestlepalooza. But they're doing it on SmackDown because Cody is expected to be back in time for Wrestlepalooza. And as well as that, we've got Tiffany Jade for the women's title. The women's championship on the line. So that match on the card as well. So not a bad looking card, to be honest. Okay, Sam, thank you. Rey Mysterio is close to returning to the ring following his injury before WrestleMania 41, in which he had to withdraw from the card. He is expected to be at the Performance Center next week as part of a return. So, PW Insider Elite just reporting that Rey Mysterio very close to a return. Corey just letting us know as well, again, WrestleVotes Radio, NXT set to return to the theatre at MSG on November 18th. You might remember that was that amazing show in New York, I believe, earlier this year. And that was a great show. I think, didn't we have like Hardys against Fraxium? Did we get Ober against Moose? And I think it was really good cards. Stephanie against Julia was on that card as well. I remember Ethan against Javon was on that card. Really, really good. So we're going back to the theatre at MSG. I thought this was really interesting. So, Saraya, Paige, talking on Busted Open, right? She said WWE is doing amazing things, but she's missing being there. She also said AJ is her fairy godmother who mentored her when she first came up, right? She said that the neck injury that forced her retirement, she's now fully healthy. My career was cut short with the neck, but now my neck is healthy. I'm full health. I want to start training again. I want to get in the ring. I want to bring back Paige that was in NXT. She said that she wants to surprise the fans with what she can do if she steps back in the ring. I want to get my cardio back, get the ring rust off. I found my love for it again. Now, a lot of people ask me about Paige, and I was very underwhelmed with her in AEW. So for me personally, I'm really not in a rush to see Paige come back. I think if AEW was her kind of audition for returning, I think she failed it for me, right? And I'm not being harsh. I'm just saying I found it very flat, very underwhelming. It's very interesting that she's talking of trying to get her cardio improved. It's very interesting that she's talking of finding her love for wrestling again. It makes me wonder if those things were missing or even just slightly missing when she was in AEW. So does that explain why she was so underwhelming? I am definitely down for giving her another chance, giving her a look. I think she was a very special talent. I think there's a lot of love and affection for Paige. I think a lot of people would like to see her back in WWE. I would definitely, in the words of Naomi, be proceeding with caution. But yeah, let's give her a go. I'm not down on that. So very interesting comments there. Very interesting to hear that she is 100% healed from her neck injury that forced her retirement. Right, this is obviously tomorrow night as well. So again, reminder, we've got Smackdown. Straight after Smackdown, we flip over to YouTube, and that's where we're going to be watching Worlds Collide. The main event of this is for the AAA Mega Championship. Vikingo takes on Dominik Mysterio. Right now, Dominik Mysterio is minus 600 favorite to be the new AAA Mega Champion. We could get Dom 2 belts. So there we go. Dommy Dos belts, said WrestleBuzz. So we'll obviously be keeping an eye on that. That'll be a big story if he gets it done. Okay, Nikki Bella said she hopes to have a moment on screen with AJ Lee. So Nikki Bella said AJ's back. She and I were chatting backstage, and I was just like, oh, it's so great you're here, and I'm happy you're back. It really took me back in the day. I actually hope we get a moment, because when you think about it, everyone's talking about it on the internet. We were so much of each other's most important stories at the time, with the Divas Championship. And when you think about like Nikki and Brie and AJ and Paige, it was so much about us. So the fact that we're both there and we could have a moment, I feel even this Monday we should have had a moment backstage. I'm hoping at some point we get that interaction. I know the fans would love it, says Nikki. I agree. I'd be down for seeing that. And then just 2 hours ago at the time of recording this, this is where the wrestling world is focused at the moment. We'll be making a huge announcement on WWE's YouTube channel Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern. I told you we'd change the game and we're just getting started. So a big announcement tomorrow. So Hannah, thank you. Christopher, thank you. WrestleUp saying the names being advertised for the special announcement. Triple H, Undertaker, Shawn, Seth, Logan, Bianca, Liv, Stephanie, Charlotte. Big names all involved for this announcement. It certainly makes me think that it's going to be the Saudi WrestleMania. That's my first thought. I'm sure it's your first thought. Obviously, like the news has kind of broke now. It's all over the internet. I would imagine that WWE have seen that that news has leaked and now are like, right, we need to make the announcement. There's no point sitting on this. Let's make the announcement that in 2027, we're going to Saudi Arabia. But let's spin it where it's going to be the biggest mania ever. Right? It's going to be bigger than anything you've seen before. The biggest WrestleMania goes to Saudi Arabia. And honestly, I think it's going to be something along those lines. The only thing I don't know is, are they going to announce 2 WrestleManias in 2027? Is that going to be the announcement? Or maybe, as I said, maybe we do 2 WrestleManias next year as a trial, right? And then in 2027... obviously, one in America, one in Saudi Arabia. I don't think we do 2 WrestleManias next year. I do wonder about 2027. as to whether we do 2 in 2027, because you know, it is disappointing that obviously we're going to Saudi Arabia for WrestleMania. That is a lot of American and Canadian fans. I mean, the bulk of WWE's fan base is in North America. That's a lot of fans that are just not going to go to WrestleMania. I've already seen people asking, is green shirt guy going to make it? People are worried if green shirt guy is going to make it to WrestleMania in Saudi Arabia, right? So yeah, for me, surely this is connected. It would be really strange for this to be something else, you know? So that's kind of where my head's at. Grayson thinks it's something else, though. Grayson said, get ready, wrestling world. The Destroyer is finally getting banned. Thank you, Triple H, for doing what Adam Pearce was too afraid to do. Sean Ross Sapp said, WWE has got a special announcement. Fightful is told that it is slated for Las Vegas, and many talent and staff are already there. TKO is promoting Crawford Canelo this weekend, sponsored by Riyadh Season. A good chance that it is the Saudi Mania announcement, but Sean does not know that to be fact. And then there's the names being advertised. So that's what Sean's saying. A good chance that it is the Saudi Mania announcement. And also, if you think they're in Las Vegas, that is where WrestleMania is next year. So this being WrestleMania related makes sense. And then the other thing we got here is about Wrestlepalooza. So we know that Wrestlepalooza is going to be, or meant to be, a massive deal. We heard Mark Shapiro yesterday talking about how they want this to be seen as a SummerSlam, as a WrestleMania type level show, this Wrestlepalooza. Ticket sales certainly don't suggest it's that big of a deal. If we look on the map, there are 15,600 seats for this arena. They've so far sold 12, well, actually, it's set up, no, hang on, that's Smackdown, sorry, it's set up here for 12,000. They have sold 10-1. So there is still nearly 2,000 tickets to sell. Still got plenty of time. They've still got a week. And I'm sure there'll be people that buy on the door, but they have now dropped the price. The cheapest was $222. It's now $192. They've dropped the cheapest by $30. So there we go. So, yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, I'm surprised that it's not a bigger venue. If you really wanted this thing to be, like, huge, I'm surprised that it's just inside an arena and there's only kind of, even at most, there's only less than 16,000 seats available. So, yeah, bit weird, but, well, I don't know. Perhaps they're just, you know, this was kind of announced quite late. There's been a lot of shows this year, so perhaps they're just kind of easing their way in with this one. We know the ESPN deal was not meant to start with Wrestlepalooza. We know that that was actually going to be starting much later, much further down the road. So I think there's been some last minute changes, and so it is what it is. Robbie said one of the downsides of WrestleMania in Saudi Arabia is the indie promotions that depend on WrestleMania week for revenue, many of whom are WWE partners via ID. I also think about Stand and Deliver being separated unless they decide to bring NXT over. I think that first one's a really good shout. I didn't consider the indie promotions because I don't watch them, but it is true. If you actually go to WrestleMania, on the Thursday, the Friday, even the Saturday and the Sunday, there are indie shows that are taking place in the same area as WrestleMania. It's just like all these tens of thousands, 100,000 plus fans go to wherever WrestleMania is. And then, like, there's all these indie promotions to try and, you know, tempt you to check them out. Obviously, a lot of things like GCW, Progress, like, they all go. And they do rely on the money they make from those shows. So are they going to jump on a plane and go all the way over to Saudi Arabia? And if not, then that means they're all going to miss out. So not WWE's concern, but even so, sucks for them, doesn't it, really? So just another downside that I personally hadn't considered. NXT, I think they will fly over. they'll either fly them over or they'll do the NXT show somewhere in America. But yeah, I would imagine they would fly them over because they'll want that to be the biggest show possible. They'll want any reason they can get to get you to fly over. I even wondered if they might financially help out some of those ID partners in helping them with travel. They might not pay for anything else, but they might help them with the travel. Because Saudi certainly is not hurting for money. I don't think it's going to cost them that much. So, not sure, but it was a good point. I thought it worth including. Let's go other, shall we? Got a few bits in here. I saw this. Jess, thank you. Some fan apparently caught a script that was blowing in the wind outside Smackdown in Chicago. I find that really hard to believe. Why would a script just be blowing in the wind outside the venue? I mean, the only thing I would say is there's not really anything here that strikes me as being changed. I mean, like, this is the one where Cena in Chicago cuts a promo, Sammy comes out. So it's just got like timings and things on. There's not really anything here that looks to be different. There's nothing here that you go, oh, they were going to do that and they changed it. It's just like backstage we see these people, then we've got this lower graphic. I mean, I read this and I was like, oh, this is interesting to see how it all gets laid out. So I think it's really interesting. If it is real, then yeah, this is what a kind of run sheet looks like. This is how it's laid out. This is the kind of things they put on there. I don't know. Other people have looked at this and gone, this is fake. Like over there, look, NJ94 said some nerd made this after the show for attention. King Jamez said this is fake. And here this person said, you believe this is real? I mean, I don't know. There's nothing on there that, I think if there was something on there that was crazy, that was, like Undertaker was meant to come back at the start of the show, whatever, you'd be like, oh, load of rubbish. But it is just sort of what happened on the show. Do you know what I mean? So perhaps someone did create it just for attention. I find it very hard to believe it was just blowing in the wind outside, but I don't know. I really don't know. I thought I'd just include it. Let you make your own mind up, right? But there's nothing groundbreaking in there anyway. This is interesting. The Righteous are just saying that their October is filling up. So if you are still interested in booking them, then you need to quickly get in touch. Now, of course, there's big rumors WWE are interested in them, and I think a lot of people were waiting for the Righteous to maybe show up somewhere. Well, at the moment, it seems like they're still taking bookings. This, of course, could be just to throw us off. It could be that we're looking at this and we're like, they're still taking indie dates. And then, of course, they show up on an NXT show or something, right? So it could be to catch us off, but I still thought it was interesting enough to include. Here, Ethan Paige, right? His main roster call-up. Apparently, Chelsea keeps banging on about how she wants Ethan to come up to the main roster. She wants to do this kind of pairing on the main roster. I think she really has enjoyed the kind of Team Canada stuff. So she would really like to see Ethan come up and for them to continue that work. The stuff they're doing in NXT. So, yeah, no word on it yet. Apparently, people in high places have been impressed with that work. We'll have to see what comes of that. But he will undoubtedly go to the main roster. I think he's a very exciting talent. Okay, I've heard about this shirt. I don't know that I've ever seen the shirt, but 90s WWE says the rare WrestleMania 10 shirt with the Twin Towers front and center. So, obviously, WrestleMania 10 was 1994, years and years before the terrorist attacks. And, of course, that anniversary was today or yesterday. But I have heard about this shirt. I'm not sure how rare it is, but there it is with, obviously, a New York skyline because WrestleMania 10 was at Madison Square Garden. And you can see the Twin Towers on that shirt. Just thought it was cool. Edward, thank you. Stephanie said she's not injured. She is taking classes to learn English. That's not why she missed Raw. But yeah, I just thought I'd include this because she did pop up in NXT and she is going to be involved in an NXT match next week. So certainly not under the impression she is injured. She's just come out and clarified that. And then quickly moved on and was starting talking about taking classes and trying to improve her English, whatnot. So Sol Ruca said, guys, she texted me back, but this is all she sent. So there was a picture of Zaria and Sol Ruca, and then that's the picture that got sent back. No Sol Ruca in that image. So it seems like there are issues with Zaria and Sol Ruca. Okay, Konnan said the lives of the luchadors in AAA have been changed by WWE. He was saying like a lot of them are just living in poverty. Like, you know, they're now getting better lifestyle, better hotels, better transportation. Like Mexico is rough. It's a rough place to wrestle and live. And he's saying like it's just to see them be able to help their families now and live a better lifestyle. It makes me really happy. And you know what? It's really interesting, isn't it? Because you don't really think about that. A lot of people talk about, oh, WWE are going to ruin AAA and all this kind of stuff. But actually, these are people trying to make a living, and that is hard to do in Mexico. WWE have come in, and Konnan's like, to see how much they are now benefiting from WWE's involvement. Like, it's really, really makes me happy. So he was speaking on Instinct Culture, his comments there. Yeah, Jerry Lawler, Mark C, thank you, has sadly suffered another stroke last Friday. So he did have a medical issue last Friday. Luckily, he said his daughter is taking him back to his primary residence where he's going to rest up for a few more weeks before getting back to normal. So that coming from TMZ. And Kaz, it's Kaz, thank you. Here's Angelo Dawkins just saying it might be time. It might be time. So they're continuing to tease a split with the Street Profits. Don't know if that's where it's going. It could do. But Angelo Dawkins posting that earlier today. Right, I really like this clip. So I don't think this was shown on NXT. Here is a little quick interview with Prince Pretty.
Tyler Breeze, what a surprise here tonight at NXT. Welcome back. It's been 4 years, looking so good. How does it feel to be back here at NXT in front of the NXT universe?
If I was to ask you a question, how do you think it felt?
Probably amazing?
Yeah, something like that. Something like that.
Okay, great. Well,
yeah. Any other questions?
Does it feel good to be home?
I just said amazing.
Okay, great. So
is this your first time? Are you here full time?
Next week at Full Sail, it's homecoming. And you took a selfie tonight in front of the NXT North American champion, Ethan Paige.
Look, I'll go in there.
Was that on purpose?
Well, I mean, it's homecoming. You can't talk about homecoming without Tyler Breeze. I mean, everybody wants. Can we help you?
Ask.
Mr. Breeze, Stevie Turner, I'm a massive fan of you. Jushin Thunder Liger, August 22nd, take over.
Look, I want to apologize. I'm sorry. She's the only girl probably right now in her mid-20s still with posters of you on her wall, man. Wow. She loves you. She really just wants to take a selfie with you.
Please.
Just ask him, Stevie. Ask him. Please. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Nice guy.
Yeah, I mean, at least you're not an uggo, you know what I mean? So at least I will take a selfie with you. So, hold on. There's something in the background.
Can you go for a moment?
Yeah,
this
can you
really
please leave, Sue? We've been waiting for this for a while. I'm out too?
Thank you.
That's nice. That's nice.
There we go. Prince Pretty, Tyler Breeze. She did seem to get quite flustered, Sarah Schreiber there. She was like asking the same question twice. He's like, I've already answered this. Is this your first day? Like that. And I like the fact is like, at least you're not an uggo. I do like Tyler Breeze. He was someone I was really into when I first watched NXT on the network, because you couldn't really watch NXT before the network came along in the UK. So when the network came along, all of a sudden you could start watching NXT, and he was someone that really stood out to me. I thought he had a good character. I thought he was really fun, and yeah, it's great that he's back, to be honest. Right, little clip here from Stephanie's podcast, just talking about what went down at Wrestlemania, right, with Gronk.
Not letting him in. Here she.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, get the
Oh, my
back,
gosh.
sir. Get
That's
back,
what
sir.
I knew. Look at her.
Oh, my God.
No,
Look
she
at-
meant business.
They're like, no.
You know,
he's
what's
in
her
it.
name? The security guy's name? The
Lisa.
security girl. Lisa. That's what it was. We became like best friends after
Yeah,
that.
my kids love Lisa, and they were telling me the story afterwards. They were like, Lisa didn't know.
So he jumped over the railing, I think, was it, to get involved in the Andre Battle Royal. So he jumps over, but the security guard, Lisa, had no idea that this was part of the show. So she went over, she was like, no, sir, and she was not letting him in for real. So they were just like laughing and joking about that. That was a great moment from a recent, well, I say recent, it was WrestleMania 33. It's coming up to like nearly 10 years ago, but it still feels recent. Here's a treat. So, botched eye surgery, thank you.
Let's go, lad. Let's see, where's the best place to do it? Right in that fluffy snow over here. Wow.
You never made me do this.
Yeah, I am. Oh my God, this is beautiful. You guys are gonna get me trying to snow angels. Let's go, lad.
I like how she calls him lad as well. Let's go, lads. And there he is doing a snow angel. I have no idea how old that is. No idea. An ARC Gaming, thank you. I don't know if I'm going to get away with this. I'm going to maybe do it as an experiment.
What's my favorite WWE promo of all time? His favorite WWE promo of all time is, I did it for The Rock. If I wasn't a professional wrestler, what would I be doing? Not a damn thing. Now, I want to cook for Waffle House. Who's my childhood idol? Your boy. What do I do that annoys you the most? Hey, the one thing that he do that annoy me the most, look like me.
So I like that bit there where he's like, "What? Who's your childhood idol?" And Jimmy's like, "Yeah, it's you. Yeah, come on. Yeah." I thought that was really good. I have no idea if this is going to result in copyright or not. I know you have to be so careful when you show stuff that's kind of been uploaded to YouTube. So I might use this as a little experiment. So if you never see this video, right? If you never see me saying this, it's because I've played this, just so you know. It's all ARC's fault. Yeah, if you've never seen this. So, right, lovely. That was the fun folder. What else we got? We got community and thanks. That's it. So, Fiend824 said, when your family knows that you still love Bray and all his contributions to wrestling to the point where you double up on ultimate figures of the Fiend, I haven't decided if I'm going to open one up. Well, there we go. Can you ever have too many Brays? So 2 Ultimate Editions and pop vinyl as well. So very good, my friend. And there's Blue Eyes. Just met Mr. Iguana. Dude, you look like twins. Did you know you actually look like twins? Did you know that you look exactly the same? Like, this is Mr. Iguana. This is Baby Iguana. Yeah, right there. So, Blue Eyes, shout out to you, buds. Honestly, you look so similar. I feel like you've got the same shaped nose and the same sort of mouth. Dudes. Shout out to you. Shout out to you. So there we go. Got to meet Mr. Iguana. Very, very cool. Very, very cool. Okay, let's do thanks and let's get out of here. So, Elite Pro Wrestling Forum, Huddle Talk, Mr. T1000, Edward, Wyatt Cross, Raymond, Sweet Chim Wrestling, Wrestling's biggest fan, Claire Webb, Little Bit of a Fan, Silverback, and He Who Smiles. Shout out to all of you. Tomorrow, we're going to do something with that announcement. I'm thinking a live stream of sorts, but not sure yet how, when, what. Obviously, we're doing Smackdown. And then we're sticking around for Worlds Collide. And then on Saturday, I think we're doing the boxing. Haven't had a chance to kind of do any of that yet. So that's what I'm doing tonight, getting ready for that. But yes, I'm interested in some in that announcement. So keep your eyes on the channel. Plenty coming up over the next 48 hours. So thanks for watching. Appreciate it as always. See you next time. Bye for now.